Tender, and I want to thank you for watching Train Your Dog TV. I wrote this book, Amazing Dog Training Man. You see it? Amazing Dog Training Man. And I tried to make it different than other dog training books. What I did is I wrote it in story form. It's a story about a guy that adopts a dog and they have all kinds of problems and they go to a trainer and it just kind of gets worse and they find this other trainer and he helps them out. But I wrote it in story form to make it entertaining. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is having fun with your dog. This is a great time of the year to keep training your obedience, but start teaching your dog how to do some tricks. As it gets colder out, as we're spending more time inside, a lot of times, we get bored just teaching sit, down, stand, stay, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good thing to do is throw some tricks into the mix, especially now since it's the Christmas season. You can impress your friends and family when they come over your house. If your dog does tricks, it's like nothing else. Someone sees your dog do a down stay or sit stay and they go, oh wow, that's nice. They see your dog sit pretty or play dead or roll over or fetch a newspaper and everybody goes crazy. Wow, how'd you get your dog to do that? That's awesome. Wow, and they start going crazy over you and your dog. So think about start teaching your dog tricks. And not too long ago, I got together with a good friend of mine, Jim Helms. And Jim is a phenomenal dog trainer. He's a great, very, very smart guy when it comes to training dogs. But he's also a great trick trainer. And he's one of those guys that loves Australian Shepherds. So I'm going to show you a clip of Jim teaching a trick with some of his dogs. And you see that they're all Australian Shepherds because he's crazy about them. But try this out with your dogs, and if you have any questions about tricks, feel free to write in the blog right here down below. Post your comments in the blog section, and I'll interact with you through there. So go ahead and watch this trick with Jim Helms. Jim's going to show you how to teach the sit pretty command. This is one of my favorites because everybody goes crazy when they see the dog. And they go up like this. Oh my God, she's so cute. Everybody goes nuts. So this is Ember, right?
This is Ember.
Right, so Ember's you're gonna demonstrate it and then you're gonna show us how you did it, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Ember. There. Pretty. Good girl. Okay. Good girl.
You see that? And that's, yeah, everybody just melts.
Right. Oh yeah, they love it.
Yeah. So what's the, how'd you do this one?
Sitting pretty is actually, I think, one of the easier ones to teach.
Yep. Some
Some dogs themselves love to put their feet up on you. So here I actually encourage them to raise their front leg. Again, a lot of times I love to use string cheese just because I think it's easy to work with. It's easy for the dog to chew, and they eat it pretty quickly, so you can work with them. And you can see Ember knows how to do this.
She can do that all day, huh?
The way I actually teach this is I actually take a piece of cheese right towards their face, and I actually encourage them to raise up. And you can see how she came up. Like I say, Ember already knows this, so it's really easy for her to do. But it's just a matter of food right in front of their nose. You just slightly raise it up as you're going back towards them. So it's not just a matter of raising it, because you can actually get the dog to come up on their two legs or actually jump on you. It's just slowly coming up and pushing back at the same time.
What I found with this trick, Jim, too, is that the dog has to learn how to rest their weight on their
back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once they get that, at first they're kind of all over the place.
Wobbly.
Yeah. And so a lot of times when I'm teaching this too, is I'll actually hold, if they have a collar on, I'll actually try to hold on the collar to kind of help them adjust their weight. Do you find the same thing? Or?
Most of the dogs I've had to work with, I've never done that. But the other thing that I have done in some bigger dogs or dogs that don't have much of a butt is I'll actually get behind them and I'll do the same thing. So what I'm doing is I can actually stabilize them a little bit in between my legs.
Yeah. I've done that in the corner of a
corner of a house. Yeah.
Yeah. I've helped them stabilize in the corner. This little trick like you just did.
Right.
That's probably easier. Just right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main reason I do that is because you don't need anything. I found a lot of times when I do trick training and stuff, I don't have collars on my dogs for safety reasons.
Yep.
There's less chance of them getting caught on something, me getting caught on it. So I guess probably why I've never done that.
Yep.
But if I'm anywhere, I've got my two legs with me, so I can use that with some dogs, and it works really good. And it seems like the smaller the dog, it seems like the easier it is for them to sit pretty.
I agree. It's kind of hard doing this with a Great Dane.
Yeah.
But a Yorkie.
Yep.
And so it's basically, and the other thing too is I find, like Ember was doing, is that when you get her to go up on her hips, they tend to want to walk.
Yep.
So you got to make sure that the treat placement is correct.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. You don't want to come up too high, and you actually want to push back. When she stands up, it's because I'm actually not giving her the treat. I'm trying to get her to stay there. Right. And what happens, my hand's coming up, so she's following my treat. Right. And that actually goes to the next trick, because I will actually raise it so they'll stand up on their back legs.
Right. So now, how do you make the transition from sit pretty, you know, teaching it, to just giving her the command, sit pretty?
When we go, anytime I'm working with a dog and I'm working with new tricks, I rarely will ever use a verbal command. Okay. I like to use one. I kind of, depending on the trick that I'm working with, a lot of times I will lure the dog into the original position that I want. And then once they start to get that, then I will actually start using my hand. Even if I have to have a piece of treat, I'll go pretty, sit, pretty. And basically it looks like I'm still holding that treat, so she knows what I want, but I'm actually not right there in front of her face.
So you kind of fade out the food, but give a hand signal.
Kind
of like we're teaching obedience.
Yeah.
Sit, down, sit, stand, then it's come sit, down, sit, stand.
And a lot of times I'll use the difference. Because if I can get a dog to do the trick 10 to 12 times, I use that as a general rule of thumb. If they'll do that luring really quickly without any hesitation, then that's when I'll really start to move going from the hand signal. Okay. And as I start to do the hand signals, a lot of times I will start to bring in the verbal at the same time if they're starting to get the trick really easily.
Great. Awesome. So then eventually it's just
an hand signal.
Finished.
Brady. Oh, bless you.
That's Steve.
I know. Brady. Brady. Oh, come here. I'm a little too far away. Sit. Brady. Sit. Come here. Sit. Ember. Sit. Brady. Good girl.
Good. Wasn't that awesome? Jim's, like I said, a phenomenal trick trainer, and now you can teach your dog some tricks. And if you're interested in learning how to teach your dog more tricks, if you really want to impress your friends and family, or if you're like me, when I first started dog training, I taught tricks so that I could impress the women, the ladies. But anyways, seriously, if you want to learn how to teach your dog how to do tricks, check out fundogtricks.com, and you can learn all kinds, basic, intermediate, advanced tricks. It's going to be great. Everybody will envy you and your dog. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, in this section of Train Your Dog TV, you have questions, I have answers. So, I'm going to answer some questions. Excellent. One of the questions that I got a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to save it for this episode, was from a owner in Indiana, and she has a Border Collie mix, and the dog is very, very, very shy. It's shy around people, shy around other dogs, new situations. She's concerned. She really wants to know how she can help the dog. So my answer for people with submissive dogs is simple. The first thing you need to do is socialize them. You need to try to get them out into situations where they can interact with people, dogs, and you got to make sure it's a positive situation. And what you have to remember about this is that your dog, a dog with that's very submissive and very nervous, has very low tolerance for dealing with the world. So low tolerance is right here. So you don't want to put the dog with a tolerance that's right here into a situation where they have to deal with it up here, because then it becomes a negative experience because it's more than the dog can handle. So what you want to do is, the tolerance levels here, is you want to bring them into a situation where it just goes up a little bit and not too much. So you wouldn't want to bring a dog that's really nervous around other dogs into a group of 15 to 20 other dogs. You might find a friend or a family member that has a friendly dog that they can interact with, and then the same thing, you would bring them into situations where there's 1 or 2 people, then you would start to increase it, and you're basically building the dog's tolerance level for handling different situations. And that's what you do with a dog that's submissive. But more importantly, what you can also do, to what we've been talking about in this whole episode, is teach a dog how to do tricks. A lot of times when I'm working with a dog owner and the dog owner is nervous or submissive and really doesn't have a lot of confidence, the first thing I start doing is I start teaching them how to do some simple tricks. Because what happens with tricks is, if the dog doesn't get it right away, the owner tends to be a lot more lenient. They don't get all upset with the dog. You know, when I'm watching somebody train their dog how to do a stay, if the dog breaks the stay, the owner gets all upset. What are you? I said stay! And they put the dog back in position. But if they're doing tricks and the dog doesn't get it, they go, oh, that's okay. Let's try that again. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build the dog's confidence. So a dog doing dog tricks is good for the dog and the owner. And guess what happens when people see a dog perform a trick? It's a very positive experience, right? Dog does bang. Dog rolls over and plays dead. Anybody that's watching goes, wow, hey, that was great. What a smart dog. The whole room piles on the dog and rewards them. Okay, and that's what we want to do. And that's why dog tricks are very good for dogs that are a little nervous, a little submissive, a little shy. Start teaching them tricks. It'll build their confidence. You'll be happy, your dog will be happy, and everybody will be happy. Sound good? Okay, so I want to thank you for watching this episode of Train Your Dog TV, and I want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.